I get a call from Tony Simonera, and he used to work for Fiat, and he used to work for Car and Driver. He's a car guy. I mean, if you want a guy to tell you about every nut and bolt and every goddamn car in the universe, Tony Simonera is the man. He calls me up and he says, I'm going to be at the Automotive News World Congress. This was a couple years after I was at the first one. He said, are you going to be there? I said, no, I didn't plan on being there. I said, I'm not speaking. So there was no reason for me to go. He said, do me a favor, come. I got something important to talk to you. Okay. So I go. We're sitting down over lunch. He says, did you know that Fiat is going to pull out of the country? I said, no. What are they going to do with the Spider and the X19? Because I'd met both Sergio Pininfarina and Nuccio Bertoni at a time when I was going to build another car after the Bricklin failed. I wanted to build a $250,000 car using both those designers. And Zoro Arkostanov, the head engineer for Corvette. It's called the father of the Corvette, even though he isn't, but he is considered that. When he retired, he went to work for me. And he is the nicest human being in the history of the world. Anyhow, so we had met with Pininfarina and Bertoni over in Turin, and we'd become friendly. But I decided my ego didn't need to go build another car. Forget about that for right now. So I knew both Pininfarina and Nuccio Bertoni. So I'm here, and he's telling me Fiat's pulling out of the country, and I say to him, "What's going to happen?" Because those two cars were built by those two guys, the X19 by Bertoni and the Spider by Pininfarina. And if they're pulling out of the United States, that's who they sold these cars to, and they needed business like that. So he said, I don't know. I imagine it's over for him. I said, okay, get on the phone, tell Nuccio and Sergio I want them together. We're flying over to have a meeting. Well, what about just what the hell do you care? I'm getting you a ticket. You'll be on the plane. Let's go next week. I want a meeting with those guys. I got something to talk about. So we get there, and here's the story. I say, listen, get Fiat to agree. Instead of you sending the bodies there and they put the engines, have them send the engines and transmission to you. You build the bodies. I'll bring them into the United States. You have to agree to make the changes necessary so you don't have a lousy reputation of the goddamn things always breaking down. And if you'll listen to Tony Simonera, who was at one time in charge of the complaint department at Fiat in the United States, to tell you, he'll live here and tell you everything that's wrong and everything that has to be fixed. And I want new paint jobs. I'll bring them into the country. How many were you selling? A couple hundred a month. I'll sell 1,000 a month from each of you. But I need them both. But you have to get me the contract for Fiat. So they call Fiat, and Fiat says no. So, of course, I don't take no for an answer. And I go meet with Fiat, and I bring them over. How can you put these two guys out of business? They're the legends at Torino, and you're putting them out of business. That's not going to look good when the PR comes out. And there's that story that you ruined these two guys that everybody looks up to. Oh, my God. And they gave me the contract. And we did the paint job, and we made the changes. And we were selling them like crazy. And then one day, I get a call from Sergio Pininfarina. When I come over to Turin right away, it was important. Boom, I fly to Turin. He says, Malcolm, I hate to tell you this, but you got 6 months more selling our car. I'm selling 1,000 a month, by the way, making a couple $1 million a month. And at the end of 6 months, I can't sell you any more cars. Excuse me. You're selling more cars than you ever sold in your life. Is there something you don't like? Oh, no, you're doing a great job. But I just made a deal with the Cadillac Allante to build and design the Allante over here, build the body over here, put them on 747s, fly them to Detroit, where they're going to put the motors in and transmissions in and sell it for $55,000 with my name on the side. And they don't want me to be selling in the United States at $12,000 to $15,000 Pininfarina. And I know I can't cancel you because that's against the law, but I can stop production because that's part of the contract. And I'm sorry, but this is more important than your business. Oh, shit. I can't just sell one. This is not, selling a couple a month each. This is not a dealer doesn't want to have it if he can't have them both. Crap. Now what am I going to do? I get Tony Simonera. I said, Tony, I got 6 months. We got an organization. We got everything coming in and we got money. You go around the world and find me the goddamn cheapest car in the universe. He comes back with, I found it. This Yugoslavian car. Yugoslavia? Where in the hell is Yugoslavia?
This has been Jeff Stearns, Connected Through Cars.